Welcome back. This is your morning Albany. A lot to get to in this upcoming half hour. The NXIVM trial starts today. Jacqueline Kangaroo is live outside federal court in Brooklyn with what you need to know as this case against Keith Raniere begins.
Plus, body cams in use for Albany County. How Sheriff Craig Apple says the new tool for his officers has already been beneficial.
And taking on those annoying robocalls, how Senator Chuck Schumer hopes to cut back on those spam phone calls we all get.
But before we go to all of that, we are expecting some rain today, this spring day. Let's go to meteorologist Heather Morrison. Hey, Heather.
Yeah, it's cloudy out right now in Albany. It's not raining yet, but a couple of showers become a piece of our forecast today. It's 55 degrees. It's breezy, too. You'll notice as you step out the door, the wind is stirring. Looking at the Albany County area right now on our Sky Tracker Doppler radar, a few spotty sprinkles starting to come into play. Not really in Albany, but into Saratoga County, approaching Half Moon and Clifton Park. Duanesburg right now seeing some light showers. And zooming out, you can see the North Country around Lake George had a couple bouts of showers today already, and here's the main batch of rain over Lake Ontario that will slip through here this afternoon. So 60s today, 40s tonight, sunshine returns tomorrow. We'll go to traffic now with John.
And good morning, everyone. Let's go to your travel times. We do have an accident northway southbound just past the Twin Bridges, so that makes it about a 20-minute ride from Clifton Park down to I-90 at this hour. On the thruway, traveling well to exit 24 into downtown Albany via 787 is looking good on your Tuesday.
A year after he was arrested in Mexico, the NXIVM co-founder goes on trial. Keith Raniere is facing a number of charges, including sex trafficking and forced labor. Jacqueline Kangaroo has been following this case for us. She is outside federal court in Brooklyn, where today's trial will take place. Good morning, Jacqueline.
Good morning, Dan. Keith Raniere's trial set to begin today, almost 150 miles from NXIVM's headquarters in Colony, and the testimony here in Brooklyn is expected to be explosive. Opening statements getting underway in just a couple of hours. The government will be laying out its case, claiming NXIVM was run as a sex cult. Thousands of people took NXIVM classes over the past decade. The group was billed as self-improvement, but those deep within NXIVM say some women were branded or groomed to have sex with Raniere, and some of those alleged crimes happening right in the capital region. 5 other co-conspirators, including co-founder Nancy Salzman and actress Allison Mack, have pleaded guilty. It's unclear if any of them will be testifying against Raniere. Those opening statements are scheduled to begin at 9:30, and of course, we'll continue to have coverage throughout the day. Dan?
Jacqueline Kangaroo reporting for us live in Brooklyn.
A deadly crash in a relatively quiet Albany neighborhood is now under investigation. One person was killed and 2 other people hurt when an SUV crashed into a tree. This happened on South Main Avenue, right near Hackett Boulevard yesterday afternoon. Albany police are now trying to determine what exactly happened. They say the driver may have been trying to avoid a utility trailer parked on the side of the street and then hit a light pole and then a tree. Police did not say if the vehicle was speeding, but we spoke to a man who says speeding is a concern on that street.
There's a lot of pedestrians in this neighborhood, people walking dogs, a lot of kids, and this does concern me because it's clear that, to me, that there's not enough enforcement.
And the 2 people who were hurt were rushed to the hospital. No word yet on their conditions at this time.
Time now for your morning headlines. A 3-year-old child is recovering after falling out of a 3rd-floor window in Columbia County. This was the scene in Philmont yesterday. State police say the child is going to be okay. Troopers, Columbia County Child Protective Services, and the county sheriff are all investigating. No word on if anyone is facing any charges. And in Hudson, police say that a man is accused of raping and holding a young girl against her will. City of Hudson police say Jamel Brandow was arrested Sunday after the girl escaped and called police. Investigators say that she ran away several blocks to her mother's workplace and called 911. She told police that she was raped, tied up, and shown a knife. Brandow was arraigned and sent to the Columbia County Jail without bail. He's due back in court this morning. And in Washington County, a Hudson Falls man has died after the truck that he was riding in driving crashes into a tree in Fort Edward. The Washington County Sheriff's Office says 52-year-old Andrew Willig, who owns Sprague's Mermaid Pools and Spa in Fort Edward, was driving southbound on Burgoyne Avenue when his truck went off the road and hit a tree. Willig was the only person in the truck at the time. The crash is still under investigation.
Happening today, the Albany Community Group, a block at a time, is hosting its second of 3 meetings on police interactions with the community. Now, this is from the group's first meeting, which was held last month, focusing on the response to the violent police-involved incident on First Street back in March. Body camera footage captured the incident. Albany police officer Luke Deere was arrested for his alleged actions during that altercation. 2 other officers have also been suspended. Police Chief Eric Hawkins is scheduled to attend the event tonight, and the focus will be on solving problems as a community. This is set to start at 5:30 at the Arbor Hill Community Center. The next meeting will take place on Monday, May 20th.
Happening this afternoon, the annual Police Officers Memorial Remembrance Ceremony at the Empire State Plaza. This is from a past year. 63 fallen officers from across the state will be honored today. 3 were killed in the line of duty. 59 died of ground zero related illness, and 1 is from a previous year. This starts at 1 p.m. and will be moved to the Egg if it is raining. There are some road closures and parking restrictions in effect that you should be aware of. This includes the streets right around St. Mary's Church and around the plaza. There will be a mass this morning at the church, then a procession around noon to the memorial at the plaza.
Albany County Sheriff Craig Apple says his department has rolled out body cameras for deputies and corrections officers at the jail. The sheriff says that they were rolled out last Wednesday and will soon be used by members of the sheriff's department's EMS. Sheriff Apple says the deputies have had in-car cameras, so there hasn't been too much of an issue there. The department is still trying to find how to comfortably work the cameras into the corrections officers' uniforms, either with the strap, magnets, or even some clips. But the sheriff says the cameras have already been extremely helpful.
But I think they're going to work out great. Day one, right down here at the entrance to this building, we had an incident, and the body camera was perfect. And it documented the incident. It was a person trying to escape from one of the mental health facilities, and everything was documented. So, listen, it's all about accountability, and I think it's going to help us reach that.
Well, Sheriff Apple also says that the body cameras will help stop frivolous lawsuits and false accusations against his department members.
A forum at the high school in Schenectady last night focused on protecting tenants and students in the Electric City. People talked about the connection between housing security and public education. Organizers say large developers and landlords are pushing families out of their homes, which means there are more students without a stable home. They say 2 bills at the state level could help address some of these issues.
It would allow them the ability to advocate for themselves when they're in unsafe and inhumane situations, and it would allow them to maintain a safe and secure residence without fear of a rent hike.
Well, communities here in New York State are dealing with that ongoing measles outbreak, and cases across the country are on the rise as well. So the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says that the number of cases reported so far this year has climbed to 764 in 23 different states. That's up 60 cases from just last week. 52 of those new cases are here in New York State. Many cases have been in Rockland County and Brooklyn. Now, state lawmakers are considering eliminating religious exemptions for vaccinations, but not everyone is on board with this.
Who are you going to believe? The people that are standing with us today or the internet?
My feeling is I very strongly support getting as close to universal vaccination as possible. I think that's a very important public health goal. I also think free exercise of religion is pretty important, so we're working out that issue.
There is no timeline yet for when the bill will come up for a vote, though lawmakers discussed the issue in a closed-door meeting just yesterday.
Well, as you send your child off to school today, you may want to remind them it is Teacher Appreciation Day.
Yeah, and of course, we all know we have so many wonderful teachers here in the Capital District, and this includes one special lady in the Saratoga Springs City School District. Let's go live to Tamani Woolley. She's there with music teacher Mrs. Trimmings, who recently was named a Woman of Distinction after she was nominated by one of her students. Hey, Tamani, this is cool.
This is so cool. Good morning, Julie. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, everybody. We love our teachers, and I am holding the proclamation that Carrie Trimmings earned from Assemblywoman Carrie Warner, identifying her as a woman of distinction. And I'm joined by none other than the music and drama teacher herself, Mrs. Trimmings. Good morning.
Good morning, Bonnie.
Thank you for getting up early for us before your lovely students get here. So, in addition to being a great music teacher and running the drama program, you also started a food program called Snack Pack, and your son was the inspiration. Tell us about it.
Yes, he is. So about 6 years ago, a young man came into our family by accident, and we learned over a period of time that he had been quite hungry. And with his guidance and with his blessing, we started a program here in Saratoga Springs called the Snack Pack program. And every week, we sent home approximately 120 bags that feed about 170 children. And the program is for all 6 elementary schools, middle school and high school here in Saratoga.
So you said 180 children get fed. So you send backpacks like the one you're holding right now home with children every weekend.
Every weekend, every Friday.
And look at this. They get a fresh loaf of bread. They get macaroni and cheese, everybody. Fresh fruit. Talk about the changes and the significance you've seen in your children as a result of this Snack Pack program, Mrs. Trimmings.
Well, the most important thing that I think has happened with this program is that the children realize that they are seen, that they are acknowledged, that that they know that we're here to help them. The children, the attendance rate has statistically...
And really quickly, if people want to donate to Snack Pack, how can they do that?
Snackpackprogram.org.
Cash donations as well as food, but you say cash is really important.
It really is.
Well, we love you. We love our teachers. Dan and Julie, don't we love our teachers? Sending it back to you in the studio. Thanks for all you do.
Thank you.
We do. We love our teachers.
We sure do. Tamani Willie reported for us live. And Tamani was just featured in the Times-Union. 20 things you don't know about me.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you can check it out just by going to the TU's website. Let's check in with Heather and get our forecast.
Yeah, temperatures are already climbing into the 50s, close to 60 today. We have a lot of clouds and an occasional shower, but the skies do partially clear, and tomorrow, sunshine and low 60s.
Putting a stop to those annoying robocalls.
Coming up on Your Morning Albany, the new legislation aiming to cut down on those annoying calls, ringing your phone off the hook. Stay with us.